where to start with this one. I woke up this morning and I said to myself, you know what, let me do a vlog on what's going to happen to me today, because I'm having gastroscopy and a colonoscopy. A gastroscopy is very similar to an endoscopy, one in the same thing, with a camera going down your throat, and the colonoscopy, as we know, goes up your backside. So I'm having both of those procedures done today, and that's because a couple of weeks ago I woke up one morning, went to the toilet, and I had blood coming out of my arse. And me being me, I don't waste time. Something said to me, Lynn, do this, because a lot of people will very much be very dismissive of this and trying to bury their heads in the sand that, oh, it will go away. Whatever this is, it will go away. But mine did actually go away. The blood did go away after 3 days, and I haven't had it since. And this is going on 2.5 weeks now. But I'm going for this procedure no matter what. Better to be safe than sorry. That's what I say. My appointment is at 5 o'clock today. I did have to go to the hospital on Monday just gone to pick up my prep pack for this. And this is the prep pack that I got, one called Movie Prep. I think that's how you pronounce it, Movie Prep. And this is what the packet looks like. I actually had 2 packets. I took the first one last night, but as I said, I wasn't planning to vlog this, but this morning something said to me, Lynn, vlog it before you start. So I'm actually going to prep this right now. Right, so here we go. Sachet A and sachet B. Empty both of these into a jug. Oh, that's a lot. And this one smells a bit lemony. It's got a lemon taste to it. Right, I need to add 1 litre of water. And to mix this solution, they say not chilled water, so room temperature water to mix the solution. Right, I've only got 700 mils in this one, so I need to do another 300 mils to add to that. Right, so that's my 1 litre. Now I need to mix that. This does not look appetizing, I will tell you that now. And I did drink this last night with a touch of apple juice in it, because they say you can drink it with a cordial. Yeah, drink through a straw to make it easier. You can add cordial to alter the flavour, but not blackcurrant, as it will stain the bowel. But you can chill it once it's been made up as well. So just going to let that dissolve properly. Right, you can still see a few sort of floating bits in this, but it will eventually dissolve. So I'm going to add a touch of apple juice to this now, so bear with me. Splash of apple juice, just a splash. So that's my 1 litre made up, as we mentioned. And it says to every 15 to 30 minutes drink 1 glassful, which is 250 millilitres, until finished. And that to be taken over 1 to 2 hours. So I'm going to measure 250. Right. Let's see what this is. Okay. I thought that would fill that up, but it hasn't. So that's quite clear, as you can see. Slight lemon look about it, and as I mentioned, I did put a touch of apple juice in this. So I'm going to get a straw and I'm going to drink this now. Ugh. This is quite a bitter taste that it touches the back of your throat, this does have. But otherwise, it's not too bad. I may be pulling faces, but it's not as bad as it looks. First one down. And what time do we have? It is 8:20 in the morning. So I need to finish this by, I'll try and finish it by 10 to be honest. And it does say also after you finish the whole of this solution to drink 500 millilitres of clear fluid with each litre dose. So last night was my first dose. 500 millilitres is a bottle this size. So you drink one of those after you finish the whole of this 1 litre. So I'll be doing that again after I finish this. Last time I ate was 6 o'clock last night. Haven't had anything this morning. I might have a black coffee later, but that's before midday. I'm not allowed to eat or drink anything after midday unless I'm sipping water. And even with water, you're not allowed to drink water 2 hours before your procedure. So for me, 5 o'clock is when my procedure is, 3 o'clock is where I stop drinking, full stop. Even water. Yeah, and that is it. But I'm actually on to the last portion of this solution. I think straw is the best thing for this. I think if I drank it and had to taste it on my tongue, I think I'm not too sure I'd be able to manage it. But with a straw, it's manageable. Like I said, I'm pulling faces, but it's not as bad as it may look. Right, that is that done. Oh, thank God for that. Yeah, we're done. Just to add, last night my bowel movement started around 9 o'clock in the evening through till 1 in the morning. And I'm going to say I had about 10 bowel movements during that period. Got a sore bottom at the end of it. All that wiping. I know it's too much information, but you need to know this. So I suggest you get yourself some wet wipes to ease the pain there. I eventually had to put some Vaseline around my bum hole to ease that soreness. Today my bowel movements were virtually non-existent. Just a few floating parts, as we'll call it, which eventually ended up with me excreting bright yellow liquid out of my backside, which eventually faded to pale yellow liquid. That's when I knew that I had come to the end of my process. Right, so I'm finally here at the hospital, getting my gastroscopy and colonoscopy done today. So I've already gone through all the checks. Yeah, so now I'm waiting to see what happens next. This is all new to me. As you can see, I'm in my hospital gown. And then they've got these, hang on, if I can show you. Got these sort of shorts they give you to put on. And the shorts have, let me show the back, like a Velcro bit at the back. Sort of to hide your modesty, so they just open the Velcro piece at the back to get to do the colonoscopy. Oh, I can't say that word. But I'm just trying to be quiet because there's quite a few cubicles around here and quite a few people having something similar going on. So this is the endoscopy unit. So endoscopy, I found out, is actually to do with anything that's camera work related. I said, oh, okay. I thought endoscopy was like the camera going down the throat, but the lady said it's actually the unit as a whole. Anything to do with camera work, this is what they do here. So the gastroscopy and the colonoscopy are all part of that as well. So this is where I'm going to leave it for now, and I'll come back to you once I know a little bit more. Right, finally finished with my procedure. Oh, got some on the face. I've actually been stuffing my face with a cheese sandwich and some coffee. So that whole procedure took, I'm going to say, about 45 minutes. So they had the gastroscopy, the one that goes down the throat to check the stomach. And then I had the colonoscopy. Did it without sedation. A little bit of a painkiller that they put in my arm, as you probably see there. Yep. In regards to the painkiller, I was given a small amount of fentanyl. Yeah, that was the name of it, fentanyl. They tried to do it in the hand, it didn't work, so they had to go through the arm. I also had a spray, anaesthetic spray to the back of my throat to numb that area. Yeah, they were quite surprised, thinking, wow, you did that without no anaesthetic, you didn't go under, which they were quite surprised by. They had this guard thing that to stop me from my tongue from moving, and then they put the camera through down the back of the throat. That was a bit ugh. Yeah, once it went past the initial, I presume your thyroid is the back of the throat there. Once it went past that point, it was plain sailing. Yeah, I didn't really want to look at the screen to see what was going on. I actually kept my eyes closed and concentrated on my breathing. That's what I did. That actually took probably about 10 minutes, so very quick. But when it came to the colonoscopy, that took probably about 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Just to mention, with the gastroscopy, they had me lay on my side before they started that procedure. And again with the colonoscopy, they got me to lay on my side again for that procedure. So with the colonoscopy, what they started with was a little lubrication around my butthole before they put the camera in. It wasn't as uncomfortable as I thought it would be, so that was quite simple and straightforward. Then she proceeded to go through my large intestines and then finally my small intestines. But what I found was every time she came to a sort of junction, a turning, is where I felt a slight pain. It happened once and then it happened a second time. So by the second time, she got me to lie on my back instead for her to continue her investigations, and that seemed to work much better. Still had a slight pain when it came to the junctions, but it wasn't as bad. The pain was probably there 5-10 seconds most, and then it was gone. So I was quite comfortable, to be honest. I didn't find a problem with it. I was able to see all of it on the monitor, what she was doing, where she'd stop, take a photograph of a certain part of the colon, then carry on. Then she'll take another photo of another part of the colon and then carry on. This happened probably about 4 or 5 times throughout the whole procedure. I know they did take a biopsy, 1 or 2 biopsies. That was with the endoscopy, the gastroscopy, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to mention that bit. But as far as the colonoscopy was concerned, there was no biopsies taken in that part. It was quite fascinating to watch all of this on the monitor. Very intriguing. She paid me a compliment in regards to my colon, how clean it was. I do remember her saying that. So that was nice to hear. The whole thing, to be honest, if they asked me to come back and do it again every single year, I'd go back and do it every single year. That's how easy and straightforward I found the whole thing. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I was more concerned about the gastroscopy, the thing that was going down the throat. I wasn't worried about the colonoscopy, not one bit. It was that gastroscopy. I don't do the gag reflex, but on this occasion, it didn't affect me at all, especially with the numbing of the throat. And then I had to swallow for the camera to go past the thyroid. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. So I was worrying over nothing. In regards to the numbing spray at the back of the throat, it tasted like aniseed. Yeah, or what's the other thing? Licorice. It had that taste about it. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. But it did the job anyway. So just to give you an idea of what the mouth guard looked like, it looked very much like this image here. And I forgot to mention about the nose prongs. I had those as well. And the lady lying on her side, that's exactly how they will do the procedure. They found a few, a little bit, 1 or 2 tears in the colon. But apart from that, said no polyps, wasn't cancerous. Not too sure where the bleeding came from in the first place. We haven't got to the bottom of that, but as far as they're concerned, all is good. So, clean bill of health with that. The only thing they did say, I have an inflamed colon, which is down to, oh God, what do they call it? Bear with me, I've got my notes here. Diverticulosis. So this is an image of what it looks like. This is actually not my colon, by the way. They do say that the main cause of this is low fibre foods and constipation. Now, I can understand the low fibre foods. The constipation I couldn't understand at the time, but when I think about it, I only started taking iron tablets over the counter approximately about 3 or 4 years ago. And before that, I would be the type of person that would go and do a number 2 every 2 or 3 days. So that sort of makes sense. But I wasn't aware that I was constipated because I never really suffered any pain all those years. So that may be the cause of why I have this. When I think about it, I may have even had this for 10, even 20 years and wasn't even aware. But through having this colonoscopy, it's brought it to light. Another thing the doctor did tell me was that at least 50% of the population have this and are not aware of it. That there was an interesting piece of information. I'm low in iron deficient, and also not eating enough fruit and vegetables and lacking fibre. That's the next thing I need to look at is my diet, because I know it's bad. It's been bad for a while, and it's got worse over going through the menopause. My sweet tooth is ridiculous, so I know I need to change that. So that would be my next challenge for myself, to sort of look at my diet, try and get back on the exercise bandwagon, and sort out the anemia as well. So I'm going to speak to my doctors about getting a blood test and breaking that down to see what I'm deficient in, such as iron, ferritin, folate, vitamin D's, thyroid. So those are the 5 things that jump into my head when I think about anemia. And let's not forget vitamin B12 as well. So the whole thing wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. The blood pressure was a little bit high when I started off here. I think it's 158 over 114. That was my blood pressure when I started here. Now it's 138 over 92, which is where I expect it to be. That's normally my average. I'm not on any type of medication, blood pressure medication. I try my best to sort of ward that off. I think I've managed to cover all that I need here. If I've forgotten anything, I'll come back. But for now, this is where I'll leave. Oh, one last thing before I forget. After the procedure, you're going to find that you're going to feel bloated. And that bloating has to come out your back passage. So you're going to be continuously farting for a short while afterwards. You may want to go and sit on the toilet thinking that you're going to do a number 2, but all it will be is wind. That's what I experienced. Because really and truly, when you think about it, you've got nothing in your colon. Yeah, that was one to deal with. But it wasn't smelly. Because again, you've got nothing in your colon. Bye for now.